Welcome to the Main Dish with MD. I'm your host, Marlon Davis. And if this is your first episode of the show, our goal is to inspire, connect, and entertain. We have three amazing women on the show today. But before we get started, go ahead and click that subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, right down there. You're going to want to subscribe after listening to these ladies. Is stepping in for an injured center and scoring 42 points to lead your team to an NBA championship magic? Is sawing a woman in half and putting her back together magic? What about celebrating beauty, power, and resilience? I think that's real magic, and it's Black girl magic. Today we have three real-life examples of Black girl magic. First, we welcome Shaniqua Rischer. Shaniqua is a published author, speaker, minister, and a principal consultant at Rischer Consulting. Welcome, Shaniqua.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Hey, I'm excited to have you.
Yeah, me too.
Next, we have Jaime Terry, a certified professional coach and Energy Leadership Index Master Practitioner. Welcome, Jaime.
Hi, thank you.
Excited to have you, Jaime.
Excited to be here, Marlon.
Finally, we welcome Nakeenya Wilson, the Executive Director of Black Mamas ATX. Welcome, Nakeenya.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm great. Glad to be here.
I love your shirt.
Thank you.
I love it. Black girl magic at its finest. But before we get started, we're going to jump into one of our segments called WTD, What the Dish. All right, ladies, I'm going to list some ingredients to a recipe. Once you know the answer to that recipe, go ahead and hold up your sheet of paper to let everybody know you know what it is. All right, our first ingredient is 1 cup flour, 2/3 cup sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 3.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 egg, 1 cup of milk, 1 cup of yellow cornmeal, 1/3 cup of vegetable oil, and go. Yeah, we have 1 answer over here. We got 2. We got 3. Hey! Good job, ladies. Yes.
I thought it was pound cake, but you got to have more eggs or pound cake. And
Right. At first I was gonna like a pea, and I was like, oh no, it's cornbread, the cornmeal.
Yep. I have to rewrite. Yep.
The corn.
I started my line from my pea. I had to flip it.
Well, it's good because my wife, she said, hey, make sure you put the cornmeal last, because if you put it first, they're going to know exactly that it's cornbread. And I can see y'all's wheels turning. Y'all like, what?
True.
Milk, flour? That could be anything. But y'all figured it out. Great job, ladies. First, let's talk to the 3-time author, minister, mission trip leader.
Okay.
I could go on and on and on.
Don't.
I could go on because you got a lot of things working, and Black girl magic. But
Is this
tell us,
appropriate?
that whatever you do is appropriate.
Okay, thank you.
It's your magic. Who am I to tell you
You are
how to do your
correct.
magic tricks?
You are correct.
Yes. Shaniqua, tell us about your book.
The newly released book.
The newly released. I mean, this book is so crisp. I jumped into the first couple of pages of it. I just got it yesterday. Tell us about your book and tell us about your consulting company, and go.
Oh, okay. The book is my baby. It is The Boy Who Would Be King, 7 Lessons from the Life of David. And when I was going through a really, I won't say a difficult time in my life, but I was literally about to go through a season, and the season where I didn't understand why I was repeating some of the same mistakes that I had in the past, especially when it came to submitting to authority of bosses that I didn't agree with. God really sent me to the story of David and King Saul. And so from there, the book was born. And it started really one Saturday morning, 2014. I just woke up and I started writing it. And it has definitely been a labor of love, but I love it. I'm proud of it. It's close to my heart because, again, it's reflective of my own personal journey and just a lot of the different things that I learned from David's life. And my business is Rischer Consulting. We do grant writing, professional development, executive coaching, workforce development. We've been in business for 5 years. It has definitely been a growing experience. I wouldn't change anything. Wouldn't have it any other way. Hope to never go back to working for someone else again, ever in life, because I love what I do and it allows me to help multiple people just through the different nonprofits and organizations that I work with. So that's it in a nutshell.
In a nutshell, Rischer Consulting. What's your last name?
Baby Rischer.
Okay, right.
Rischer.
It has something to do with your business. Okay.
Yes.
All right, we'll do it then, girl. Black girl magic. What'd you do? We're gonna have fun today just because of that one thing you just started off. Next, we welcome this certified professional coach and certified glass always half full.
3/4, but yes.
Well, see, there you go. I was gonna say glass full, but people wouldn't know what I was talking about. But yes, always half full. Amazing person, always positive. Jaime Terry, tell us about how you got started in your profession and who inspired you.
Great question. Well, I've been known to be Paula positive throughout all of my life, friends and family giving good advice and empowering others through encouraging words. And I guess I would say that carried on through college and into my professional life. And as a result of in living life for a while, I noticed something within myself is that I became very reactive after becoming like a wife and a mom, just reacting to things. And that didn't really feel personable to who I was or who I wanted to be or who I wanted to show my daughter who I was. And so it was in 2018, the year that the crazy flu hit, 2018, my daughter and I both had the flu. And I did some soul searching during that time and decided that I didn't want to show her that side of myself or show my husband or myself that side of myself, that reactive person. And so I decided that I wanted to enroll in a coach training program after validating through my circle of girlfriends that this could be a good life goal for me. And so I entered into a coach training program, and I'm currently working in a full-time role, but still pursuing full-time coaching.
That's awesome.
Yeah. You did ask another question. I'm sorry. My source of inspiration. So generally, that is my mother, who is, I think you did. Didn't you say who encourages you? Or?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Yes. I didn't know I was.
Black girl magic, whatever goes today. I'm not cutting anybody off today.
Today.
So that would be my mother. Maybe. Well, my mother for sure is very encouraging. And I also was encouraged by the circle of sisterhood that raised me. And that included my aunt, my favorite aunt, who actually coached me earlier on right outside of grad school. And it was such an impactful transition for me in like framing of the trajectory of my life. We did some visioning exercises. And part of what I'm living out today is a part of that. And that's just a testament to coaching, period. So that's where my source of inspiration comes from.
That's awesome. I don't know if I met this aunt/aunt, depends on where you're from.
She's super quiet, but you won't notice her. T. Shirley, she's at every family occasion.
Oh, T. Shirley? Oh, yeah. I know T. Shirley. Shirley is in the building. And first of all, when I thought you said positive Paula, I don't know if you were talking about Paula Abdul. No.
So there's positive Polly, and positive Paula meaning brown girl. So throughout all the circles, you're just so positive, Paula, because I'm Black. You're positive, and I'm like, okay, I guess Paula is positive. I'm Paula, so.
Well, I was this year's old today that I heard of positive Polly and Paula being Black. I'm going to just be honest with you, America. This is the first time I've heard of that. But hey, you know what? Hey, I'm educated today.
There you go. You're educated.
Here we go. Black girl magic.
Yes.
Next, we have Nakeenya and Black Mamas ATX. You guys are doing your thing. You're one of 3 women featured in the Target Storytellers promotion, guest faculty for an Austin Emerge class. You've really been doing it. Nakeenya, tell us about Black Mamas ATX.
Oh, thank you, Marlon, again for having me. Black Mamas ATX is a nonprofit that is local to Austin, although we don't intend for it to stay that way. And we are a nonprofit that is Black women led. We serve Black women, and we are working on Black maternal health disparities. Black women in the United States are 243% more likely to die just from childbirth complications. And so we are working hard to eradicate those disparities through direct service, through advocacy. We are looking at systems and institutions and how racism impacts healthcare. And yeah, that's what we do.
You shorten that for this because there's a lot of stuff that you guys are doing. But we'll get into that a little bit later. You're like, yes, there is. She like, hurry up. I got more work to do before the video's over. Yeah. So much work. Ladies, Black girl. Yeah.
Listen, okay.
I love it. Black girl magic encompasses so many different traits, characteristics, and ambitions. Ladies, tell me in 3 words what Black girl magic means to you. And also, who is your definition of Black girl magic? Shaniqua, we'll start with you.
Ooh, I think the 3 words would be authentic, inspirational, and influential. As far as the definition or a person, I think that embodies that. Especially right now, there are so many Black women that we are on it. But for me, versus looking outward as far as big names or people, it really is a lot of the women that I interact with every day that's in my circle, that are friends, that are family members. I look at their lives. I look at what they do. I'm a single person and I don't have any children. I look at all of my friends that are rocking it, that are parents, especially even during this time. I'm like, man, you're doing the darn thing. And they are influential, they are inspirational, and they are authentic in who they are. So for me, my inspiration is in all the people I know.
You want to give anybody any shout outs? This is your time to.
I give a whole list. I want to give the chocolates a shout out. Erica, Tamara, Carrie, Tavisha, Margot, Andrea, Christina, Cedra. I want to give a shout out to Brandy and to Dolores, Dr. D-Lo, to Melissa, like my mama, my sister, my cousin, my granny. Like I can give you a whole list of them.
You, your mama, and your cousin too. Rocking on Black girl magic.
Yes.
Right.
I love it. You know what? All kidding aside, all those amazing women, they deserve the shout out. So they are doing, as you said, the darn thing. Jamie, what about you?
So I think the term and the what you asked about Black girl magic in 3 words to me would be resilience, courageous, and versatile. So as wives, mothers, independent professionals, we put on the hats of different roles in whatever we're facing. And I think that it's just a testament to Black women that we are able to be resilient in spaces. We are able to come up and show out as being courageous, even though we might be in fear on the inside when we're put in front of a group or a crowd to promote a certain aspect, maybe Nakeenya in Black Austin Black Mamas. I just think there's so many different aspects from Black women's perspective that we are just truly resilient in showing who we are and ever changing. And I think that's one of the many amazing attributes about being a Black woman, is just that we are so multifaceted. So I would say, as Shaniqua said, she believes that her mother, herself, her sister, her circle of sisterhood is who she looks to as defining Black girl magic. And I would say it's the exact same thing. Not that I attribute it to a specific person, but more of the way that I see us as Black women showing up in the lives of our family and in our friendship circles, as professionals, in whatever we are in it to the full, generally.
I love it. And that is true. You guys you're in it and,
Fully committed.
100% committed. Shaniqua, you were about to say something.
I was just going to say something because Jamie pointed out something when she was talking earlier. And you know how growing up, I think it was the band commercials, and they were like, never let them see you sweat. Whatever the deodorant commercial was. And I really think that embodies who we are as Black women. Like, we can go into a situation regardless of however we may feel inwardly, but when we're in that situation, we're forward focused, and hey, don't let them see you sweat. There's no intimidation. It's just us being who we are. So when you said that kicked that in for me.
Good.
I like it. Nakeenya, 3 words. Everybody's kept.
I'm gonna cheat, and I gotta use 4.
Okay.
It's okay.
Standing in your power.
Wow. That's good.
It is good.
That is good.
And no one can define that power but you. People will try to emulate it. They will try to box it. They'll try to sell it. But you standing in your power. That's what Black girl magic means to me. I think much like the other 2 ladies, I cannot just name one inspiration, but I would definitely say there are women who come to the forefront of my mind. The first being my grandmother. She raised me, and she was a phenomenal human being. That also was real and authentic, and she showed up as her best self, and that may have looked differently on different days, but it definitely has been an inspiration for how I choose to move throughout the world. My best friend, y'all all know, Tiffany Tillis Lewis, Dr. Tiffany Tillis Lewis, is one of the most phenomenal women on the face of this earth. I believe that with my whole heart. And then I have a couple of mentors, Brenda Burt, which we all know.
Shout out to Ms. Burt.
There you go. So Mrs. Burt for sure. Joya Hayes.
Shout out to Joya.
And then last but not least, and I don't know that this would be a usual choice that you would hear, but my daughter, my 17-year-old daughter, Celeste.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to Celeste. We shouting them out today, baby.
Yes. And Celeste is, I had Celeste when I was a senior in college. And so she has been a propelling force throughout the course of my adult life to do great things, to be more for her. And she's just an amazing kid. We just got our first college acceptance letter on yesterday.
Woo! Congratulations, Black mama.
So, yeah, she's definitely an inspiration to me. And I'm so looking forward to everything that she has in her future.
I didn't ask you guys this question, but before the term Black girl magic, did we celebrate, or was it like, hey, when that term came out, were you guys like, finally? Or did it help you find your inner being to say, you know what, I am special, everything that I do is amazing, or it propels me? If anybody wants to jump in and answer that, I don't know.
For me personally, I think I always knew it's the world that's catching up. I think that we as Black women, especially as you mature, you recognize so much of your contribution to your family, to your work, to society. You just normally step into these roles. So it's not necessarily new to us. I think it's just new to the world to openly celebrate us. But I think that Black women, we've been, especially within our circle or sisterhood, we've been celebrating each other all along.
I would agree. I feel like, if you look throughout the course of history, Black women are the pillar of anything great.
Mm-hmm.
I think about, what's that movie? Even The Help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you is kind, you is smart, you is beautiful. Black women have been raising people's children. They have been creating main dishes. They have been building businesses.
Yes.
And, even despite all of the adversity and the trauma that we endure, we show up. I think the hashtag Black Girl Magic, came on the scene. And at that point, Michelle Obama, was our forever first lady.
Yeah. The epitome of.
Was the epitome of that. But, we've been that. In different eras in time, I think it manifests differently. At one point, it might have been, she's a bad mama jamma.
Oh, that brick house come on too, y'all.
Yeah. PYT.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. I didn't look at that, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, those are good points. And to me, as we're talking, it's like an award that you should have received long ago. Not that you're competing for the award, but you're doing your thing. And finally, they're like, "Look, fool! I told you all this time, I'm awesome." And it's like, finally, you can see it. We can put it in your face and tell you, "Black Girl Magic," and you like, yeah. That's when I think of it. It's like a long time coming of celebration of the awesomeness that already existed prior to us coming up with that phrase. Let's talk about mental health. Let's talk about mental health and why it's important that women make themselves a priority. Jamie, let's go to you.
This is my jam. This is where I feel like I thrive in coaching, as in helping women find their voice and define what personal fulfillment means to them, or how to move towards self-care, but more so just to acknowledge, all that you do, and to give yourself permission to not go so hard for everyone else but yourself. You have to put yourself first. You can't pour from an empty cup. It was actually Nakeenya and I, after I had my first baby, where we had to sit down, and I was like, this is overwhelming. And she's like, girl, let me tell you, we can work this out. And then after I had my second baby, she had started Black Mamas ATX, and there was another forum, and it was like for mental health. And it was so refreshing just to be in an open circle of women that were just saying that this is tough and you have to do something for yourself. So for me, I honestly, unfortunately, really didn't acknowledge mental health because I was taught the power through method growing up. And it wasn't until I experienced life coaching after I finished grad school and then decided, I need to take it a step further. I need to sign up for a mental therapist. Like, this is legit important to me. And I think because we don't really talk about it in our inner circles or our outer circles or our families, specifically as Blacks, I think that it's a bit of a challenge, but these are things that we need to seriously consider because mental health is just so important. I saw some challenges growing up as a kid that could have been addressed in today's times, but they were not addressed. And unfortunately, I don't want to pass that along to the next generation, being my girls. So I'm trying to address concerns, starting with me first.
For me, mental health is paramount. Mental, spiritual, emotional, and physical health. I think that we really have to recognize all of those touch points, and all of them are actually interrelated. if you are neglecting your physical health, it will impact your mental health. And if you're neglecting your mental health, it will impact your physical health as well as your emotional health. So all of those are interrelated. I think one of the key things that we as women need to recognize is that we need to teach people how to treat us and how to love us. But it starts with how we love, treat, and honor ourselves. So we can't have this expectation of other people to be able to fulfill something in us when there's a gap or a hole that we haven't learned how to feel within ourselves, or we haven't treated within ourselves. And I think once you get to that point, it's easier to tell someone no. It's easier for you to put down your superwoman cape, which deals with ego and pride and perfectionism and a lot of those things that, let's be honest, a lot of those things that some of us as Black women, we've been groomed into from a nurture standpoint, not necessarily from a nature standpoint, but it's become so much a part of this persona that we don't necessarily know how to put it down. But when we get to those points within ourselves and we say, you know what, I need to take care of me, and I need to address whatever those things entail with taking care of you, then you realize the importance of mental health, and you don't have to be everything to everybody, but you have to be everything to yourself.
That is so good.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. You know, when you were talking, Shaniqua, I was thinking a term that I just recently became familiar with, the strong Black woman trope. Mm-hmm. And you know, that's something that I can honestly say that I'm personally fighting, you know, day for day, being able to recognize when I am not strong, whether it's mentally or physically or emotionally, and being able to, you know, sit with that and then come up with ways to make myself feel more whole. You know, much like you all said, I feel like we parse out so many parts of ourselves to everybody and everything, from PTA to sororities to church ministries and so on and so forth. And we get to a point to where we have nothing left to give. We're natural nurturers, right? But it was actually my therapist who gave me an analogy recently that I've been able to share with some of my other girlfriends. And that is that you have to sharpen your axe in order to be able to chop more wood. Taking the time to focus on your mental health, to focus on self-care, makes you more effective in your workplace, in your marriage, with your children. So we have to take that time out. And, you know, it may look differently for different people. It could be therapy. It could be exercise. It could be meditation. It could be nature, solitude, picking up old hobbies, listening to music. But definitely we have to be our own main advocates to take care of ourselves and our mental health.
Nakeenya, what makes you happy? Like what feels, when I say what makes you happy, what feels your soul?
Ooh,
that's deep.
That's real deep.
Happy versus feeling your soul. Ooh.
Let me tell you why the reason I asked that question, because, you know, my wife pointed it out a few years ago. Like, my mom, she's amazing. She did amazing things. So I probably took her for granted on the things that she did for us. Like, we used to go to Dallas for a Texas OU weekend, and she would cook it up. It was her birthday, and she would cook it up for all of my friends to come back and celebrate the Davis OU Classic. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, she enjoys that. In my head, I'm like, she enjoys that. She enjoys having us over. She enjoys having people over there. And my wife was like, so your mom's cooking for her birthday with all these people coming over there? I was like, yeah. And then I took a step back. I was like, Mom, do you enjoy, what feeds your soul? Like, what is something that you're like, man, this is what I want to do. This makes me happy. I feel refreshed. I feel like, ooh, Like, what is that thing that makes you guys feel that way? And can you answer it? And does it include, the nurture part of your life?
Yeah. So for me, I would definitely it would be entertaining and hosting people, and like being in settings with friends and family and loved ones. Like I'll be 40 next year and I still love sleepovers. Like I love being surrounded by people and laughing and eating good food. But I also equally am fueled by pouring into people, helping them in whatever ways that I can. That really brings me joy. And I think the reason why it is so fulfilling to me is because, so many people helped me throughout my life. As a child, things were not always easy. I had a lot of obstacles and people poured into me. And so it gives me pleasure and joy for God to use me as a vessel to pour into other people.
Okay, so what fills my cup, what makes me happy is to be around my family, my loved ones, my littles, my husband. I am an only child and I was raised around a very close family. So being with my family, pouring into friends that need encouragement or empowerment, or to strategically think about things, or to just vent, is kind of where my gears kind of get flowing and my juices, and I naturally encourage and don't even realize that I'm doing it. And it's just that place where I think that I'm, I don't know, at a point where I can really pour into others by just uplifting them. They might tell me about a struggle and I'll say, well, have you thought about it this way? Or just being a listening ear to someone. Sometimes people just really need somebody to just listen, just to listen. Yeah. And that's where I feel like, whoo, that's where I am.
That's where you thrive. That's where you're like,
yeah,
my cup is full.
Yes.
It runneth over.
Runneth over.
Shaniqua, I think I know part of yours.
Well, tell me what you tell me after I say it if it is.
You go first. Yeah.
Okay. Actually, my answer really mirrors both of the ladies' answers. So when you were talking a moment ago about your mom, I cook on New Year's Day, every New Year's, and it takes a lot out of me financially, physically. Like I literally some days can't move once it's done, but I literally cook for about I think the highest, it's anywhere between like 40 to 65, 70 people that would be at my house. And my house is small, by the way. But it's small but mighty. But I cook for so many people.
I've never been, and thought I might be in the top 75, but anyway, go ahead.
I mean, hey, it's New Year's Day. Most people don't want to travel, but hey, if you want to travel, come on. So that it's a huge undertaking. I mean, it's huge, but when it's done, I am so refueled and so re-energized by it, because all of my friends, my family, they're there, and it just really feeds my spirit. So it does something for me. And then I think, just like Nakeenya said, the other part is that I thrive in helping other people. I know that part of my ministry and what I am supposed to do is to help people, number one, walk in their authentic purpose. But then at the same time, for me, and you all know I'm a minister, but for me to be the hands and feet of Christ. And so whatever that may be, by helping someone to feel that need, then that feeds me. So yeah, that's what's most fulfilling to me. But can I kind of go back real quick to something else that you said a moment ago that I want to point out? And when we were talking about mental health, I wanted to point this out because both Jaime and Nakeenya mentioned that they each had therapists. I have a therapist right now too. And even when I was back in college, I had a therapist. My background for my master's was a concentration in counseling. So I think we need to normalize therapy, especially within the Black community. So the reason I wanted to point that out is that you literally have 3 Black girl magic women on here, and each of us have told you with everything that we're doing, all of us, we have a relationship with a therapist that we're actively participating in therapy. So I just think that was really important to just highlight that.
I have a question for each of you ladies. When did you, if you're comfortable, start seeing a therapist? When did you realize I might need to really seek outside counsel of family, but to actually have, a therapist or a counselor, someone to, walk through some things with you?
I think I was doing therapy long before it was like somebody that I was paying for therapy, right? And I think we do it, especially within the Black community, in less formal ways, right? Yeah. Whether it's a mentor or, a family member. But in college for me too, many of the Black girls that went to UT, our first counselor was Judith Mitchell. Mm-hmm. And she was like the only Black therapist on campus. And, being a first generation college student, coming from a low socioeconomic background and going to the University of Texas was a lot. Mm-hmm. And I was very grateful that Mrs. Burt actually was like, girl, you need to go upstairs and talk to Judith. And then throughout the course of my adulthood, in different seasons of my life, mm-hmm. I have re-engaged in therapeutic relationships, ranging from when my first marriage and the challenges with that, or the loss of loved ones. Mm-hmm. I've done marriage counseling, and it doesn't mean that you have a bad marriage to go to counseling. You go to the gym to stay healthy, not just because you're unhealthy. Mm-hmm. And so, and more recently, after the birth of my youngest, I experienced postpartum depression and anxiety. And even 2 years postpartum, I still battle with anxiety. And so I am currently seeing a therapist that specializes in anxiety. And, it's a part of the budget. It's just what happens, just like everything else, like getting your nails done, you invest in the things that are the most important to you.
For me, I just started seeing a therapist again, probably maybe 2 months ago. And ironically has nothing to do with COVID. It was more so from just personal relationships. But before then, when I was at UT, it was Dr. Bravada Akinsanya. She was the Black therapist on campus. And so I talked with her because at UT at the very end, I was just so overwhelmed and I was ready to be done. UT at the end, it didn't feel like a safe place for me. And so I talked to her then, and then after that, with ministry in probably early 2000s, I went and spoke with a pastoral counselor at that point, because I was trying to struggle. It was a struggle for me to accept my call to ministry. Let's just put it that way. And so I went and I spoke with someone just about that. And he kind of helped me navigate just a bit. And even though I still didn't fully accept it at that point, but he helped me navigate the very beginning parts of that. So therapy for me, I've always been an advocate of it. And it's also because at one point I wanted to be a counselor. So I've always been an advocate of, hey, if you need to go talk to someone and forget what anybody else thinks. This about you and your health. So that's what it's been for me.
Okay. Just curious. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, it's, and Shaniqua, I think you brought up, thank you for circling back to that. I was going to point out too, that having a therapist or therapy, it's okay. Go do it. It's okay to talk about it. Mm-hmm. And I think by you guys sharing that, it's going to open up to a lot of women like, girl, I didn't know you were seeing a therapist. I was thinking about it. Or dude, I didn't know you were seeing a therapist. Let's talk about it. Recently a couple of my guy friends opened up about going to see a therapist, and I think it's good, and I think people need it. Mm-hmm. And it's good that they are seeking help. No, go ahead.
It's not even for me. And I also think that maybe we need to remove the term help from it, because people look at therapy as that, hey, I have this issue and I need to go talk to someone. It truly is, hey, this is my lens and then let me go talk with someone who can give me another lens, and they can help reframe your thought process and how you're looking at things. And so I think that also is one of the hangups in our community, is because we're like, I don't need no help. I can do it by myself. You're right. You don't need any help. But let's reframe your thinking. Let's look at this differently. And so if the approach is just a little bit differently, I think it makes it easier for us. But you don't the house does not have to be on fire for you to go and talk with someone. It could just literally be like, I think this, but am I thinking in line with your thinking? It could be something as simple as that. So that's why I really think we need to normalize it within our community.
Thank you for kind of pointing that out too. So let's talk about obstacles. What obstacles have you ladies faced due to your gender, race, ethnicity, stated or unstated? Shaniqua, we'll come right back to you.
I'm a 6 foot, plus size, loquacious, talkative, speak my mind Black woman.
Loquacious. Educate me on that meaning.
Talkative. That was I was telling our mutual friend of ours, literally when I was in 3rd grade, I got the award for being Miss Loquacious, because I talk so much. I know, right? But
hey, I did too. But I have a talk show.
And I write, like I put my words.
My award was a pink slip, and I spent a lot of time in the principal's office.
But look at you now, educating people and everybody on who they need to be. See, it full circle moments, full circle.
Let the kids talk.
Right.
As long as they're not my kids. Yeah. But let the kids talk.
As long as they're not yours. That's funny. But that goes into how we stymie our young ones. But for child, I forgot that quick. What was your question?
Obstacles. You were like, I'm 6 foot.
Well, okay. So I am 6 foot, Black woman, natural, talkative, loquacious, like all of that is me. And I have a forceful and a demanding personality. And people either think some people think I'm a pushover because I tend to withdraw and try to downplay that part of me, because the other opposite is extreme, is that I am this B word. And it is what it is. Those have been obstacles that I have had to deal with my entire professional career in whatever way, shape, form, or fashion you want to talk about it. But here recently, it's funny because I have a friend of mine who's starting a nonprofit, and he was like, I need you to come be on my board. I need you to do this. And and mind you, this is a friend. He was like, I need someone like you that can be a B. And I stopped and I was like, did you just call me? But what he wanted was
a benefit. He meant a benefit. I need somebody who could be a benefit.
Man, that's but what he wanted was the benefit of my personality, my standard of excellence, all of those things that when it comes out in a Black woman, people tend to look at it as negative. But when it's beneficial to them, it then becomes more so of a positive or a positive negative. So I've dealt with it all from just how I look physically, and people automatically assume a certain thing about me.
That's very interesting. I as you're talking, I'm like, yeah, I could probably see I could probably see that, but you're so loving and caring and all those things.
Oh, that's only when I was on a good day.
Well, you know what? When I'm with you, it's only a good day. What does that say about us?
I don't need to see the January 1st, 2021.
I don't need to see the B. I don't need to see the benefits.
The benefits.
Jamie, obstacles.
Obstacles. I would say I get in my way. I am a recovering perfectionist, and I want to do things a certain way. I want to put it out there. I'm total type A, and if it doesn't go my way, I have an issue with it. So as it results, this year we're in a pandemic. It was the goal to go full-time professional, certified professional coach. And yet we hit a pandemic, and I'm like, oh, am I for real? Do I really want to do this? Or do I want to kind of throttle back and stay in my safe career? And so I'm on the struggle bus myself because I get in my own way sometimes. So yes, I'm still pursuing coaching, but a part of me wants to feel a sense of security. Why? I don't know. Maybe I was raised that way. No, I was raised that way, to have a sense of security in a full-time job with benefits to afford my family. And I recognize that I get in my own way and I need to learn to better, as Nakeenya nicely said, stand in my own power, to just be assertive in who I am and just be okay.
Stand in it, Jamie.
Stand in it.
You're a bad mama jamma.
I need to just believe that about myself.
You know what? And we talk about that. I believe, and on the shows that we've had, it's important to, and I'll say this at the end, to support, promote, and encourage your friends.
Mm-hmm.
It's something about hearing your close friends tell you to keep going, to point out something positive to keep you going. And your husband, he did that right when I was starting out the show. He was like, MD, man, you fired. I'm like, you know what? I am fired. Let me do the show. And there are certain, we need that encouragement amongst our peers, because there's a little doubt, even though that you like,
yeah,
at least 51% or more is like, I'm a bad motor scooter. Every once in a while, you're like, am I a bad motor scooter?
right.
Yes, you are.
And if somebody comes back and is like, you a bad motor scooter, you like, yeah, I am. All right, let's get it together. But we need that. We need that encouragement.
Yeah.
Continue. Obstacles.
I agree. To your point, Marlon, I think that many times that self-doubt that we feel, there's a term for it. It's called the imposter syndrome. And we don't always realize, as Black women, as Black people, that a lot of that has been put on us. So you ask the question, what are the barriers? What have been the challenges? I think it's not necessarily something that like I can hold up and show you. They're more intangible. It's the microaggressions. It's the white supremacist environments that we're in that perpetuate Black inferiority, right? It's all of the things that are unsaid that like seep into our DNA, like literally seep into our DNA, that we have to, fight upstream to keep from giving into.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not here for it. As I said in the very beginning, I'm going to stand in my power and I'm going to drag as many people along with me as possible. And you better get out the way. Because if you want to be a berry, you might be a road bump.
A road bump. I like that. That's
awesome. I love it. And I think what you mentioned, we could probably talk for hours on that, but I like the fact that you said, hey, I'm going to keep it moving, jump on this bus because we rolling. You coming with me? Let's do it. Jamie, give me your contact information and tell America how we can support you.
America, you can support me by following along at JamieGermanyTerryCoaching.com. In addition to the social channels, Jaime Germany Terry Coaching on Instagram and Facebook. I will also be featured in a Reset Wellness Forum online in November called Overflow, and I will have more information on my website and on the social channels coming. Yes.
Awesome. How can we support you?
As being those friends that encourage me along the way as I'm continuing to push forward. Occasionally, if you think about it, hey, how are you doing, girl? How's coaching going? Just checking in is really.
And if anybody needs a professional coach,
I'm your girl.
I'll see you. All right. Hey, you got to put it out there.
Yeah.
Shaniqua, how can people contact you? How can they get the book? If they need some consulting, give us the lowdown. If they need to minister, if they go on a mission trip, if they need a 2-piece and a B, whatever. I mean, come on, talk to me.
The best way probably to do all of that is to go through one of my two websites. My personal website that has my books. You can find them on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, all of those, by the way, Kindle, Apple Books, Google Play. But you can find those by searching my name, which is also my website, which is www.shaniquarischer.com. If you want to go and find out more about my consulting business, grant writing, even when I have online courses that you can sign up for, you can do that through my business website, which is rischerconsulting.com. And again, that's RISCHER and then the word consulting.com.
Grant writing, it's a big thing. Somebody was writing grants the other day when I talked to them. $50 grand.
See, it's man, and the money is out there. You just have to. I can talk all day about grants, but yeah, the money is out there.
So now that's important. Like, we didn't talk about that a lot today, but money, free money,
is out there.
Yeah, and especially now for Black businesses, free money is out there.
Hey, and I believe Shaniqua can get you the free money if you have your stuff right. And she's not just going. You can't just have a piece of paper and a peanut. But
because I'm not Jesus, I have no miracles.
You're Black girl magic, not Saul girl and half magic.
Right, I'm not that.
Nakeenya, how do people reach you, and how can we support you?
So for the nonprofit, it's blackmamasatx.com. We have the same handles on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. My email address is nakeenya@blackmamasatx.com. And I will give out my phone number, but that's gotten me in trouble a time or two. So email me.
I got so much to say, but I'm not going to say anything. Who the hell is calling at 2 a.m.? Some dude
my students.
Talking about
my
my
sorority sister.
You need a Black mama or something.
Everybody needs Black mama. That's what it is.
Yeah. Everybody needs a
mama right now.
Everybody need a Black mama. Best memories as a child.
Yes, I'm telling you. I also have my business, my personal consultancy and business, We Restore Families. So that's www.werestorefamilies.org. And that, if you are interested in restorative justice work, mediation, all of the things around families, then that's where you can reach me for that as well.
Great.
And how can you support me?
Yep.
Prayer. I take all the prayers. But also, over the last several months and with everything that was going on, with the pandemic and all of the racial unrest, I've had people show up in some really amazing ways. I've gotten notes in the mail. I've gotten meals delivered to me. Sometimes it's a text or a scripture, that's sent. Just thinking about what would make you feel good, and I'll take it. And I could also give you my Cash App and my Venmo. I'm just kidding. But,
listen, speaking.
Hey, I'm a firm believer.
Put it out there.
Put it out there. Don't beat around the bush. And that's why I give you ladies this opportunity. Like, how can we support you? If it's like, look, I need $1,000 for Black Mamas ATX so we can do whatever. I need Rischer. I need 2 more people to sign up with my consulting.
Yes.
I'm trying to do a ministry. Jamie, it's like, I really want some business for my professional coaching. You have to put it out there. You can't beat around the bush. And this platform is for you to do that, because, men, first of all, unless you say it, will be like, oh, wow.
You need
I said, thank you. You said, say thank you.
Right. On our website, there are opportunities to contribute to the work that we do. We have a Patreon account, and you could just give as little as $5 a month, and that makes a difference as well. So for sure. And, Shaniqua, if you have any downtime, I'm always looking for pro bono grant writing.
Bam, there it is. Hey,
I might have some come December, but right now, no. But come December, because everything is quiet.
there you go.
Yeah,
Hey,
by all means, hit me up. I don't mind.
Hey, that's what you got to put it out there. Ladies, thank you for this portion of the program. Next, we're going to move to our fun portion of the program of the main dish, the food portion. So we're going to talk about, we talked about cornbread earlier, which is going to lead us to talk about Sunday dinners.
I'm starving too.
It's time to eat. Me too. I'm hungry. It's Tuesday night. I'm hungry. Nakeenya, tell us your favorite Sunday dinner.
Marlon, this is very triggering for me. I recently received some news that Luby's is closing.
Man, devastating.
And, the turkey and dressing with the yellow gravy and the cranberry sauce and the mac and cheese and the skillet cabbage with some black-eyed peas and some sugar tea, and a roll, a wheat one.
Not sweet tea, but sugar. That means she got sweet tea, throwing some more sugar in it.
Wow. No, I'm really gonna miss Luby's. And being a mom and a wife, any meal on Sunday that I don't cook is a good meal.
Hey, I heard that. Heard that, Black Girl Magic. Jaime Terry.
I'm gonna go a little different. I generally like a good grilled steak. My husband grills a very good steak.
He has some good grilling skills. I give it to him.
He has some skills. We're into Brussels sprouts because it's the season for that, and butternut squash. So a nice steak with the mix of Brussels and the butternut squash. We are kind of low carb, so we're not really doing bread right now, but we do indulge in tons of wine. That would be my favorite Sunday meal. And because I also don't cook it, that is why it's my favorite. Yeah.
I like how she said, we don't eat a lot of carbs, but we had 3 bottles of wine.
No, just kidding. Maybe two.
No judgment here.
No judgment
here.
Yes.
Shaniqua, what's our favorite Sunday meal?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Cook for 75 people, and you can't.
Because I cook differently. So for 1 year, because I felt like, anyway, 1 year I did Sunday dinners. I think it was 2017, and every month I invited people over, and I did a different cuisine every Sunday. Like one was Italian, I did a salad day, and people talked about me before those salads, but they loved it. Like I did oxtail, so everyone was different. So I'll just tell you what I just had this past Sunday, because my best friend, she asked me to smoke some salmon for her. So I had smoked some salmon, and I had smoked some trout for me, and baked potatoes and sauteed spinach. So that's my favorite meals as of today. When I was a kid, it was some fried chicken, some mashed potatoes.
That's what I want. I want your favorites. Like,
man, listen, I don't eat like that no more. I don't. I eat fried chicken once a year when I cook it. But don't get me wrong. This smoked salmon go hard. It's my favorite too. You can have 2 favorites.
I got 17 favorites.
Except strawberries.
No magic. We can do it all. You cannot box us in to one type of protein.
There you go.
Oh, I love it. Ladies, you guys have provided some amazing information. We talked about some great topics today. As I mentioned earlier, please remember to support, promote, and encourage your friends. And it's more fun when the homies have some. Peace.
Amen.